Frank, don't start, mate. Don't start. Don't start. Right, starting this again.
Okay.
1, 2, 1, 2. No, we're still good.
Yeah?
Good.
Yeah?
We are fucking cooking.
Right.
Jimbo, are we recording?
We're recording, mate.
Jimbo Unchained, is that right? That's fine.
Jimbo Unchained. Is that...
Jimbo Unchained, like Django Unchained, the film about slavery.
Yep.
But Jimbo
One of my favourite
Unchained. You're reclaiming it.
Yeah.
Not slavery, you're reclaiming the name, Jimbo Unchained.
That's it. I need my own struggle.
What do you think of this, Jim? Jim, what do you think of this?
What, spoon in the cup?
Spoon in the cup, but also bag left in the cup.
It shows it's a haphazard preparation, but you're probably getting the end results. But you're also probably going too far as well, and it'll be too strong. But that's your call. I
like a strong cup of tea, mate. The perfect colour for a cup of tea is a 2p piece.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I would probably, well, as you can guess, probably touch milkier for me. Strong and milky. When people ask me, what do you want? Strong and milky.
Strong and milky. You can't have strong and milky.
That's what morons like you think. But the truth is, sorry, I get quite aggressive when I talk about tea.
Yeah, so do I.
It can be both. Leave the bag in there. Give it a bit of time. Give it a stir. Give it a squeeze on the side. Okay? Then don't take it out. Then put the milk in to ensure that it is strong and milky. And you can give it another little squeeze if you need to. One thing that you've got to be careful with, though, is the bulk of your strengthening must happen prior to milk going in, because you won't get the same kind of, what's the word? Fusion and osmosis. It's not right.
Milk goes in first. Milk goes in first.
Milk goes in.
We're not going to.
No, are you serious?
A little bit of milk in first. Yeah, I'm serious. That's how I make it.
But
I leave the tea bag in. So you can't go wrong, really. I have a splash of milk. Like I think the more milk you have, the less of a man you are.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like
fair.
Loads of milk.
Well, in coffee, I have it big and black.
Yeah, like you like your men.
I was kind of saying that without saying it, Jim.
Right.
Poor from you.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm more androgynous, so I like loads of milk, but it's really strong as well, and you're just like, what? And I'll get sometimes when I want to get something out of a meeting and there's gay men there, I'll make a really strong but milky tea, and I'll go just show them it, just so that they know, or do they know, and it confuses them a bit. You get what you want out of it.
Fair enough. You hungover, Jim? This is pathetic.
I'm not hungover. I've just woken up. That's all. In my PJs, no.
You look a little bit hungover to me.
Yeah.
What have you been at? You've been out seeing other men, have you?
Yeah. Doing a couple of tier lists with the boys.
Boys?
I can give you a bit of an exclusive here. It's quite one. You'll like this. There's some mad names on this, right? We did a tier list on every one cap wonder for England this decade.
This decade?
Yeah, there are some names in there that you're just like, how? That's one of the tiers. One of the tiers is how.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get a couple.
Yeah, go on, have a guess.
Fuck, who's that guy who played for? He's always killed it in League One, in Championship. Played for Preston up front and Portsmouth.
That was David Nugent. That was prior to 2010. But I think
was it?
He is a one cap wonder.
That was one cap, one goal.
Yeah, from a yard, wasn't it? He stole it off Defoe. Still is.
What do you think? Ramsey stealing Ronaldo's goal on the goal line.
I haven't seen that.
Ronaldo basically hit a shot, keeper fumbled it. It was rolling in, and Ramsey out of nowhere just ran in and toe poked it over. The ball was practically entirely over the line, and he just nicked it.
What was Ronaldo's reaction?
He just ran up to him and apologised straight away. Ramsey. I nearly called him Rambo. Then Ramsey should just go up to him and just spark him out, just like fucking lever him, hit him so hard that he's just fucking out on the floor and social media pictures. That's what I'd like to see to Ronaldo. So he thinks he fucking owns football. Fuck you, mate. All you are is a bit part player.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You're losing.
Scumbag.
He's overrated, isn't he? Have a good title. So yeah, I got. Good. I've just got the whole. There's a Wikipedia page with all of them, and actually the real golds in 2000 to 2010, where you got some absolute pearlers, and one in particular, one name. I was just like, "What are you doing here?" He got one cap in 28th of February 2001. That's fine. This is before the decade that we've done, but in 2001 got a cap against Spain. Gavin McCann.
Don't even remember. Is he in
Sunderland?
Sunderland? Yeah.
Centre midfielder for Sunderland.
He got a cap, did he?
For England.
Didn't Michael Ricketts get a cap?
Yeah.
Or Bolton.
He was the next person to do it in a year later. Yeah. Michael Ball, Seth Johnson, Steve Guppy.
Steve Guppy only got one. He was good. Guppy.
He was good, actually, yeah.
Yeah, he was all right.
Chris Sutton only got one, it says here. David Dunn. Alan Thompson. Do you remember Alan Thompson?
Surprised Chris Sutton. He's just a foil to Shearer, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he's because
forwards.
He's a twat. Though,
forwards, Jim. Yeah. Forwards who played. I don't mind him. I know you want to wind you up, but I also don't mind like loads of people that wind other people up. Like Piers Morgan, I can stomach him, whereas everyone else seems to fucking hate his guts. I understand why. Just
since I met him, I was like, I know. Oh, okay, I get it. I get what you're doing.
It's a bit of a show. Something
he doesn't mean what he's saying
at all, or some of the stuff.
He's just a wind up. He just
knows his value. His value is doing that.
Yeah, and everyone's got that mate, haven't they? Everyone's got that mate who's just like he lives. That's his life is to wind everyone else up.
But the thing is that that's almost worse in a way because he's causing damage. He's definitely causing damage. Doesn't make people's lives better. It makes them worse. And to do that as a sake of to earn money isn't that cool. Anyway, fuck it. I don't care really. But when I switch on Good Morning and he's there, I'm like, at least I'm going to be entertained in some fashion.
Yeah.
Like, I might be irritated, I might be angry, but at least I feel something. Then when Ben Shepherd's on there and you're like, I'm going to feel nothing for the next hour because you are the most boring person on earth. You don't deserve your success. Yeah. You got Jimbo here.
Wow.
Little Jim. You'd love that job. You could do that job.
Yeah, of course I could do that job.
But people like boring Ben Shepherd, they're fucking blocking the way. He's safe. And he's safe. That's what it is.
Well, there's nothing wrong with safe sometimes. Sometimes safe will get you to the end of the show. And
not in the modern era,
everyone
mate.
Else.
No one wants safe anymore.
I've got a Ben Shepherd story. Do you want a Ben Shepherd story?
Does it end up with his cock out?
No.
It's going to be a really boring story, isn't it? Because it's about Ben Shepherd. Go on.
It's a very nice story, right? So I had a meeting. James Grant asked me for a meeting. I was like, wow, they're like the biggest agent, right? And I know he's signed to them because he's so talented. And he just started doing GMB, and I went up to him and said, look, I've got this meeting with them right after this shift. After this, would you like? Have you got any advice or anything? Like, is there anything else that's going to sort of keep me in good stead? And he's like, well, look, we'll talk after the show. Yeah, absolutely, we'll talk after the show. But they were filming like this, like documentary style advert for ITV about GMB. So he's kind of being followed around by this camera crew the whole show. And so the other side of it, the show ends, and I can't really see him. And I'm like, look, he's busy. I'll go. So I'll go get the train to wherever it is, and then I'm waiting in the waiting room, and then my phone just like starts ringing. So the guy who used to produce, a guy called Richard Arnold, he went and found Richard Arnold, asked him for my number so that he could sit down and give me a call, just to give me a little bit of advice before the meeting. What a lovely man. Didn't need to do that, Flav.
Piers Morgan had done that?
There's no way Piers Morgan would have done that.
Which is probably why he earns about 4 times as much as boring Ben Shepherd. No, but that is a lovely...
Ben Shepherd is a happier man, I would
probably
imagine.
Is. He looks healthier. He's a dreamboat compared
he's still
to Piers Morgan.
Shape for his age.
Yeah, he can play football as well.
Good footballer. Tackled Zidane, didn't he? Took him out.
That's right. Yeah. What are we talking about? How do we get onto this?
I don't
Tier
know.
lists.
Tier lists, yeah. Don't worry about it. Do you know what? Oh yeah, look, you'll like this. Maybe I should save it for the pod. Actually, no, I won't. It was getting to the end of filming for the Premier League show, and What happened? Oh, the pod had gone out by mistake.
What pod?
Our pod. The pod. We've
Right.
been so busy. I'd forgotten. I thought I'd scheduled it for 3 p.m. I hadn't. I'd scheduled it for 12. So I'd fucked up. And then like the patrons, their pod hadn't. I hadn't messaged them, so they didn't have their pod. But on YouTube it was there. So obviously, our exclusive platinum Jaffn lovers should be getting their podcast first, rightly so.
Yes.
So I was like, shit, right, trying to get my computer out, get it sorted out. And then I must have said something about us or you or whatever. And he said, do you know what this is?
Who said?
Rambo said. He said,
right.
Do you know that's the first time you've mentioned Flav today? Normally you mention him about 5 or 6 times. I was like, is that a problem? And
yeah, you got an issue with that, Rambo.
Yeah, I was like, did he say it in a joking fashion? I don't know. I'm just a messenger. He said, tell him to fucking back off. To you.
You made that up.
He did. He said something like that.
I'll fucking punch him in his throat.
Yeah.
No one gets in the way of me and Jim.
Exactly. Yeah, you stay.
Oh, hang on, Jim. What's happening here? Is he trying to establish some sort of duo with you? Is he building a rapport?
Well, I mean, this is the problem I have.
Because I've had this with you before, Jim.
But that's the
you're
problem.
a slut.
Well, or am I just so accommodating and, in a way, shy that I need that right or left hand man, and I bring out the best in them, but also allow myself to sort of create incredible content.
Do you know when?
That's just a thought.
Do you know when
that's just a thought.
Jim, when you were young,
yeah.
you can go and spray your seed wherever you want.
Sure.
All right, you can do it. People expect it. Some point you got to settle down, Jim.
Yeah.
You can't just keep getting fucking fingered by Rambo, buggered by Flav.
Yeah. Fellatio.
Face fucked by Ben Haynes.
Yeah.
All right, you can't just keep throwing your body around.
I know.
Ben, you got to settle down.
All right.
You got to settle down.
I'll think about that.
But I want to know what his motives are. I want to know what Rambo's motives are, because he's like, what are his desires? What does he want out of this relationship? Because, God willing, the Fantasy Football League show goes on forever.
Decades, yeah.
Decades and decades, right? But it might not. And, is he going to start playing a hand? Do I need to be wary of him, basically? Do I need to stop you from seeing him, Jim?
Well, I think the meaning of the story I was trying to get across was the fact that, without even realising, I talk about you all the time, mate. And it's I was surprised he was like, yeah, you talk about him all the time. I was like,
yeah, all right. Sorry,
Rambo. A bit jealous, are we, Rambo? Just calm it down.
Yeah.
Anyway, great show is available now if you want to go check that out. Right, let's do our debrief of the pod. Have you had a chance to watch it back, or probably?
Mate, I can't. I find it hard to watch and listen back to everything I do.
I know.
Not because I'm vain, or not vain, or trying to be kind of humble. It's just I fucking get sick of myself. I get sick of my own voice. So the answer is no.
Can you just quickly?
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Go on it and go to 32 minutes. Because I would say...
Okay. 10k, Jimbo. 10k's not bad. More than the KSI stuff. You know what I realised? When you sort of put out the KSI segment, and then you look at YouTube, it is fucking saturated with this fight. There are thumbnails coming out of your arse about this fight. So much so that there's too much to keep up with. So it's always going to...
Geordie messaged me yesterday saying he said, "Oh, I watched your video with Flav," and he said he knows his stuff. Flav, he said, "Yeah, it was really good. He enjoyed it watching it." And
did he?
Yeah, and he was saying he agrees with me. He doesn't think KSI believes what he's saying.
Really? What he just
exclusive there for the platinum Jaffn lovers.
Yeah, please don't share that out because
they're mates.
Geordie will see that as a breach of trust and come and could end up raping Jim.
Yeah.
No one wants that. I'll tell a lie, Jim. I just realised I'm on 24 minutes, so maybe I did watch some of it.
There you go.
I might have had it on while I was making dinner or something.
Go to 32 minutes, and I think this is the weirdest thing that you've ever said to me.
All right, let me play. Will you be able to cut this in, or can you hear this?
Yeah, I can do. I know what it is. It's more what you're doing than
42.
Yeah.
31:55, right? Hank?
Yeah, I'll cut it in. This is fucking mad.
What? All of this?
You got to the
Or
Marmite bit?
On the Marmite? That's funny. Where else are you going to get that sort of shit on?
Mate, I literally because I started to show Craig last night. I was like, mate, I know you don't really listen to the pod. I've just got to show you this one bit. This is the fucking weirdest thing he's ever said to me. Where the fuck has it gone? And then I clicked. I think when I was trying to find that,
Craig enjoy it.
Yeah, he found it. I was when I clicked somewhere else initially. It was you talking about blind porn. It's like, fucking hell.
Look, mate, this is
so good. It's so funny.
That's my niche.
That's it. And then the problem I've got is I can't help but go down the road with you.
Of course. So you should.
It's good fun.
It is good fun.
Do you know watching as well? Which this is why we got onto that. Was on YouTube. There was right in the early days. There was a channel called it was called Channel B. Do you remember that? Yeah. And it basically had like Sheephead from Soccer AM. And
that's right. That was I wasn't listening, but as soon as he did Channel B, was the Lovejoy set it up, didn't he?
Yeah.
It was good. It was before its time.
It was so good. And search Sheepheads. You don't have to do this now, but at some point. There's like Sheephead's late night calls is one, or if you do like Sheephead Ashes, it's so fun. He's calling this over 40s babe station. He's chatting to this girl who's just like wiggling her tit at him. Yeah, and he's going. She's like, "How you doing, babe?" And I'm like, he's going, a bit stressed to be honest. He's going, "What?" He's going, well, we've lost the fourth test, haven't we? We're going into it all square now. I'm worried we're going to lose the Ashes. And it's so funny,
and it's real, isn't it? She's an actual
exactly
babe station thing.
Yeah,
that's the thing, babe station.
I honestly don't know, but surely it's a waste of time.
I just wonder if it's still about. Do you know? Honest confession here. You'd be surprised by this, but I've never ever knocked one out to Babe Station. Yeah,
I don't see the point in it.
Didn't do it for me. Never got the idea of calling up a sex line. Even phone sex, I don't really get. Don't know. A mate of mine's recently single, and he is making the most out of it, right? And he's having like phone sex and Skype sex with birds all the time. Well, really? I don't know how he's doing. He's not the most attractive man either. He's kind of short and stubby.
Right, nothing wrong with that.
But no, I know. But he's been prolific.
If he was a object, not another person, but an object, what object would he be?
He would be do you remember those toys that sort of Weeble? He'd be a Weeble.
Weeble, okay.
The Weeble. So little toilet rolls. And he has lots of phone sex. He's into it. So no fair play to him. It's just I feel I'm going to stick my dick in your gob. And this is another thing. British porn. I don't know if you ever watched British porn. Back in the day, British porn was like just not sexy. Like they didn't do a good job in selling it.
Yeah,
they'd be like
they all seem to be. I imagine all of them, the men and the women, worked in they were tradesmen.
Yeah, and the sexy talk would be like, "Put your dick in my muff, you bastard." Like in American porn, it's more sexy. Like they use sexy language. Go on, you git, fuck me. And there's always like baked. Like I remember being a kid looking at some porn mags, and there would be like food involved, like can of baked beans thrown on her back or something like that.
On her back? I've never seen anything like that.
Don't get it. Literally, mate. My suggested videos, it's just full of KSI and Logan.
Mad, isn't it? It's mad.
Crazy.
Do you know what? I sort of said, I said I don't believe him, and then I've watched like a load of videos since then, and part of me believes him a bit more now. KSI, in terms of him doing it, just because he looks like he's obviously slimmed down. He's done some sort of a cut, hasn't he?
Yeah, weight cut. Yeah.
So he looks far better now. I watched the press conference and on the train home, and Vidal's just like, he's got Shannon like in his pocket. He's just the chat's too much. He can't. Shannon Briggs can't.
Rile him.
Can't deal with it. He can't deal with the fact that he keeps going. You've only had 3 fights. And Vidal's just like, well, you're old, mate. I don't listen to people who are over 50, and that is such a good line, isn't it? It's so annoying.
Yeah, it's just his relaxed, passive state is insanely annoying for someone who's all he's got is being loud and obnoxious, which is what Shannon can.
He said something about sort of you being on get back to being on drugs or something like that, and Shannon he's like, I'm going to break your jaw. He basically said that. He said, I'm going to break your jaw. Shannon Briggs is like fed up. He's fucking there's nothing more annoying than when you're the older one and the younger person or people are just like petulant and don't give a fuck. Yeah,
if they're not reacting, then you can't get to them. But the problem is Shannon Briggs' entire career after he kind of the Latin part of his career was about goading people into fights. Like, he nearly did it with David Haye. He nearly did it with.
That's how I came to know him. I didn't really know him for his boxing. But then I just kept seeing this dude with this like grey beard shouting, "Let's go champ!" You
wouldn't know anything about him. He's not his career. He's a world champion. I think he only had the belt for a very short time.
Twice,
he was right. So he's a world champion. But in terms of anyone outside of boxing, or even like a casual boxing fan, wouldn't know much about him. It's not like he's done much. He's just built this social media craze, which has probably kept him in a fair bit of money, selling merch with "Let's Go Champ" on it.
Yeah, but it kind of goes back to that thing. It was like, you get to stick around because you're really loud.
Yeah, but that's the industry we work in. The louder you are, the more people will fucking watch you. You don't have to say anything of substance as long as you have charisma.
I was listening to. There's a really good podcast with Ricky Gervais, and it's called on a podcast that's called Make Sense. There's a guy called Sam. I want to say Sam Harris or Sam Ferris, one or the other. Anyway, it's a really good podcast. It's really interesting how he's talking about the right and the left, and like how it's just about point scoring now. And like if you say like he tweets something about that Winston Churchill had said that was like a great quote, and then people were going, oh, you're okay with a white supremacist da 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 da. And he's like, well, no, it's just a good quote. But it's just constant. It's not even about right or wrong or nuance. It's just about point scoring. And he said, what was his comeback was, he go, well, look, okay, Winston Churchill, fine. But out of the leaders involved in that war, if you had to pick one, which one would you go side with? He's probably the best out of the two, isn't he? In terms of people.
What, in terms of Hitler or?
Because there's been a whole thing about cancelling Winston Churchill because of some of the stuff he said, and it's just overly woke. It's just like chill.
You know how I feel about this shit. I'm done with it. I don't give a shit about wokeness. I don't care about. Just be good to people. Be kind to people. It's not your position to fucking pile on someone who's made a mistake. I don't think. Look, there's a thing Obama said. I'll send it over to you. It's just he's talking about this kind of pile-on woke.
Oh, right. Culture. Yeah. I haven't clicked on that yet, but I saw that. I want to see that. Yeah, that's good. What was he saying?
He was just saying that I can't. It was about 3 weeks ago when I watched it. It was about 2 minutes long, but there was, to paraphrase him, he was more or less saying that these people that you're jumping on, and someone said something offensive and you're destroying them. That these people have daughters and they have homes and they have jobs and they are normal people. And there's a difference between screaming at someone through social media because everyone else does and it makes you feel a little bit better, and genuine activism. He goes, throwing stones at someone that can't defend themselves isn't activism. It's a very easy thing to do. Along those lines, just go and watch it. Obama and then woke, and then it just makes people feel like they're doing something when they're doing nothing, really. Oh, this guy said something sexist and he must hate women, and fucking let's get him. Let's mobilize all the feminists and go and get him. You feel like you're solving the problem when you're not. You're just making yourself feel like you are. If everybody chose to direct all of that energy towards actually changing something and actually attacking something, like lobbying politicians, then maybe we get somewhere with this stuff. Whereas actually, this bloke said he hates women. Women shouldn't be allowed to box or play football, whatever he said. Fuck, get him. God, I'm so offended. It's hurt my feelings. I want him to be cancelled. I want him dead. I want his kids dead because he's upset me. So, fuck you and your feelings.
Yeah, I agree. So let's get to some of your questions, guys. 45
question.
Platinum Jaffn lovers.
Shit, son.
Yes, we love each and every one of you very, very much. Whilst you
I'll
continue
love you as long
to pay.
Yes, I love you as long as you pay.
To pay.
Pay. Show me the fucking money.
Do you want to reel through the?
Let's answer. How many questions are
there? So what I did was there's like a lens thing on the app, and basically that allows you to post pictures. And you know me, I hate texting, so I just did a picture with Sean Williamson, aka Barry from EastEnders, in the background, and then said, "Skyping tomorrow. What should we discuss?" And we have had some questions. And we've got a bit of BDA in there as well, actually.
Did you notice the Skype at the end? Sorry, with Patreon.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the picture you just sent. Patreon, towards the end, loads of people, you lose a few patrons, don't you? Because they're...
At the end of a month?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. But we're back on track, guys, and we're so close. I mean, it's wasted on you guys because you're part of the solution. But
big dogs.
100 huge dogs. 196 we're on, very close to the 200.
It's not, but you can't ask people that already. Like you say, it's a waste. You're wasting your time and their time and my time right now, Jim. Okay. What?
So do you want a question or what?
No, not yet. What? I forgot what I was going to say. You distracted me with your bullshit. Doesn't matter. Oh, a lot of people going mad about the rice, weren't they?
Yeah, love that. I was.
Did you do that on purpose? That's a frustrating thing to do. You did that you think that they're desperate to see rice. Well, they are.
Yeah, they are. A few of them.
Great quote
honestly,
here.
The patrons have gone through the roof.
Great quote here from Stephen Butler. He says, "Can't believe the screen went when he was about to show the rice. Never knew how much I actually wanted to see rice before."
Someone messaged me actually saying, it's basically like, do you really think I'm going to spend $3 a month just to see a bucket of rice? On a separate note, I am $3. I'm $3. What's the word? Poorer. He basically. He fell for it. He fell for it.
He did. Someone contacted me through Patreon on the Fighting Cock and saying that he has become a £3 member because he is desperate
to see the rice.
No, it's not to see the rice, to win that fucking piece of shit that you've got behind us. Yeah.
That's weird. What, is it not a Spurs fan?
He is a Spurs fan. His brother. No, his brother is a Liverpool fan. He wants to win it for him.
Okay. Oh, that is a good Christmas present for him.
Yeah, that is pretty good. When are you doing the announcement for that?
That's a good point.
Do it because it's only it's only like 40 posting days before Christmas.
Is that right? I wonder if we've had 2 weeks of it. I was thinking if you're doing one a month, 2 more weeks.
Fine. I don't care. It's up to you. I don't give a shit if people get it for Christmas or not.
If you get it for Christmas.
Do you care? Do you care?
But they'll still get it for Christmas if you do. We've got another 2 weeks, and then it'll be the start of December. They'll have it for Christmas. Right. No?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay. Last thing before we get into questions. Did you see that Adam Rosenbaum God rest his soul, that picture that you put in our WhatsApp group, Neville versus Solskjaer. 28. So Neville, when he managed Valencia, Solskjaer as Man United manager, here are the stats. Neville, obviously, it's understood that it was an absolute disaster in managing Valencia. However, both managed 28 games. Neville won 10 of those. Solskjaer's won 9. Both drawn 7. Neville lost 11. Solskjaer's lost 12. Solskjaer's teams
the difference,
26 goals.
Valencia were bottom when Neville took over or something, second bottom. So their team was almost
12 more goals as well, Neville.
So the team was almost like in a much worse state, completely demoralised. Whereas Solskjaer's had that, he's had time to prepare. Or is this 28 games in total?
I think so. Well, that's what was sent through.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, look, Ollie's at will, wasn't he? So, are they still singing that bullshit?
That's a good point.
Jim, I'm just got to put the heating on cold. 2 seconds, mate.
Getting the questions ready. You do wonder, don't you? You do wonder what he does on his own.
It was already on. Just cold.
Brilliant.
Good content there.
Yeah, great content there.
Right.
Okay.
Go on, give us a question then.
Right. So yeah, the picture I posted was with Sean Williamson wearing a Christmas hat because he's in the production of Elf that's been shown at the Wembley Arena, and asked for questions. First up, let's go with this. Aaron Hillary. When does Christmas time actually start? I'm a December 1st man myself, but know lots of people who begin their festive celebration as soon as Halloween's over.
For me, it's like a couple of weeks beforehand. It's when the drinking starts.
The do's happen.
The festive drinking. Although I won't have a Christmas do. Should we have a Christmas do, me and you, Jim?
Yeah, mate. Why not?
We're the company now, aren't we?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it's probably that. But I'm not one of these people who are like, oh, it's fucking too soon. I had a Christmas song. I had one in November.
Yeah.
It's too soon. It's like, it's so what? It's nice, isn't it? People want to feel nice. Just fucking get off their back. I do like Christmas music. I love all that. Mate, I'm well into Christmas. Really, in a big, big way. I spend too much money. I spoil the kids. I want them to remember. Because when I was a kid, I can imagine you had really good Christmases at home as well with your sisters and your mum and dad and that. And it's having a family at Christmas is such a lovely, beautiful thing, and it makes me feel really grateful. I do have this kind of bouts of melancholy when I think of people that don't have much or don't like parents who can't afford it, and they find a way by scrimping and saving to make sure their kids have a good Christmas. That kind of really does get me.
It's a shame that the amount of money that's kind of the bar's so high. For kids, it's kind of the amount of money they generally have to spend. I mean, you don't have to spend, but there is obviously that pressure to do all that stuff.
Of course there is. You just want the kids, it's such a special day. So you will spend, you will put yourself in debt or you'll make it special in another way. Like my mum didn't have a lot of money at all when I was a kid. She was skint, and my dad always did. He always worked, but they split up when I was 5. And my mum didn't. She had fuck all, really. But the Christmases with her, we'd go up to Birmingham and be with my granddad. The Christmases with her were. I love my dad's Christmases as well, and I would never say this out to him, but they were more special with her because I was kind of aware of how much she was, how much effort she was, how much effort she put in to make it special. Like we didn't get really expensive presents, but what we got was enough. I remember them so fondly, really. So yeah, I'm always really thoughtful or mindful of people that Christmas brings them stress because of money.
Yeah,
I don't like that. You know what I mean?
I think this kind of time of year is kind of tricky as well, because then you have the end of the year and you start evaluating everything, and it kind of puts it all on a bit of a spotlight. So I think you're right. I think if you're around family, just like concentrate on that. Like just concentrate on how lucky you are to have those kind of things, and not kind of get stuck with anything else really.
Don't expect and give.
That said, sorry, go on.
No, that's all right. I was just going to say, I don't know if I told you this before, but Chloe, little girl, was gone to secondary school this year. And last year, about this time last year, I was really concerned because she's 10 at the time. She still believes in Father Christmas. And I'm like, we've got to tell her before she goes to secondary school because she will get destroyed in secondary school. She'll find out the hard way. She can't go in going, I can't wait to see what Father Christmas gets me when she's in big school.
Oh, that's horrible.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's amazing that she still believes it at 10.
Well, James, does she? Because she pretended for about 3 years that he was still real, so that because she knew she gets an extra present from Father Christmas on top of everything else she gets.
Clever girl. That's as good as it could have ended.
Yeah, it's better ended if she's getting bullied.
Yeah, definitely. How did you find out that Father Christmas wasn't real?
Everybody kind of just guesses it in the end. This is stupid.
I couldn't sleep and kind of got to the top of the stairs and then saw, what is it? I think I saw my nan like eating the carrot, not the carrot, the mince pie that we'd left out for Father Christmas. Then I knew it was a sham.
It was the wall had been pulled over your eyes.
Yeah.
Do you know what a magical thing happened to me when I was at Christmas? When I was about 6, and my mum, again, I was up with my mum, and I think part of how she made it so special is I got up really early. It was still dark, and I got into bed with my mum. I must have been about 5 or 6, and she said, "Can you hear it? Can you hear him on the roof? He's on the roof now." And I swear to God, I could hear reindeer hoofs on the roof. In my head, I could hear them. And she goes, "You have to close your eyes really, really tight and go to sleep, and you'll be able to." Yeah, my mum was so. She not just into. She was just an incredible, and she is an incredible mother. But I don't need her as much now. But obviously, because I'm 38, and you don't think I'm rude to her on the phone, but she irritates the shit out of me. But she is a wonderful, wonderful mum.
That's lovely. Do you want me to clip that up for you? Send that to her.
No.
Okay.
She left me with a broken arm, didn't she? 3 days once. Told you this.
No. It sorted itself out.
It was more or less that.
Sorted itself out.
She's above me, by the way. I just fell off a rope swing and I broke my arm, and she looked at it and just said, "I think it's a sprain," and went 3 days before having to go to the doctor because she was in so much pain that it was broken.
Wow.
Her job at the time was a nurse.
That's terrible. Right. Quick one. Tyler Norton, top Christmas songs. When you think of Christmas, what is the first song you think of?
Fairy Tale in New York, obviously.
I actually think of, you'll hate this, but I can give a fuck. I like the Sleepless in Seattle soundtrack. You pop that whole album on, it's fantastic.
Is it what, of Christmas time?
Like the films are sort of Christmas to a point, a Christmas film, but the songs are all those like, it's really like, what's his name, Harry Connick Jr. and Frank Sinatra, and like, it's that kind of music. I love that kind of music at Christmas.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, any of them really. I listen to all this shit. I listen to it's all pretty bad, but I just like listening to it. I have it on, put it on the thing.
This will be the first year I'll have to, Jackson 5. Santa Claus is coming to town. Like, he's a child at that point, but I know he grows into a pedo. So can I listen to that?
What, have you stopped listening to him?
I'm trying to listen to him at times. Trying to just leave it, just let it go. But it's difficult.
Does that shit come into your head?
Yeah.
Not
initially.
Really?
Not initially. Like Rock With You is like one of my favourite songs of all time.
Rock With You.
And I got kind of lost in the song when we were driving the other day, and then about a minute in, I was like,
Jim, he's fucking dead, mate.
I know all of these facts. The point is, it comes from the soul of that man.
Don't worry about it. He's dead. You're not supporting it. You're not making his life better. He's gone. Just enjoy his music.
No, it's not that. It's not that. It's like
Gary Glitter. Glitter gets a
some
play.
bangers.
He gets paid. He gets paid. Do you know what I mean? He's fucking
paid.
dead, man. Just enjoy it. And look, he's not 100% sure he didn't nonce any kids.
Yeah,
Not all the stories match up. Apparently, I don't know. I watched Finding Neverland. Give me the yawn, if I'm honest.
all this sex talk.
All this talk of fingering and bums and that.
Yeah, and secrecy.
Got a lob on, didn't I?
Got the Marmite out.
I know we do the question. I know we do the comments and stuff in the main show, but I'm just looking at Connor S. This is Flab. I can tell that you've never. I can tell that you have never come across audio described porn.
Oh yeah.
I have read my fair share of literotica. Literotica.
This guy's blind, by the way, people.
Oh right. But in general,
that's the blind guy that initially came back with the inner monologue thing about kicking his own little ball on his stick.
Of course. But in general, I just put on normal porn and listen and imagine. But it gets a bit much because the porn stars seem so eager to constantly repeat how much they love someone's cock, which just ruins the mood. I used to be able to see it's all in the voice and imagination, brother. That's fascinating. I think we can make a section of the pod about Connor.
Yeah.
And being blind.
That's a good shout. Being blind. I think, yeah. Because I think I'd love to. Sounds like he could open our eyes to what it's like being a blind man without trying to.
Definitely. Or just his story would be interesting.
Yeah, man.
We could find out about different things like porn, like dating with you. Has these blindness ever caused a relationship to break down? I don't know. There's tons of stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
How did you stay motivated? So we could ask him a question every week, and we'll read out his answer.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I like that.
All right.
Right. When we got that one. Worst Christmas gift you've ever given or received? I once gave a girl an engagement ring box from an expensive jeweler's with a £2 coin inside. The joke was clearly a lot funner in my head and just made the preceding dinner a bit awkward.
Yeah, that's a stupid thing to do. What's your answer?
What's the worst gift?
I don't think I've ever given a bad.
My sister last year. So I've pretty much stopped playing football now. But she works at a company that sort of owns Mitre.
Yeah.
And she bought me a Mitre jumper that was too small and some football socks. It's just like, I was like, I spent enough money on her. That's the thing. I'm terrible. I shouldn't be like that, but I'm like, well, hang on. I've clearly spent more than you here. Like, what are you doing?
Did you make it clear?
No, not worth it.
Of course, it's definitely not worth it. Yeah. I don't. With my brothers and family, we don't buy each other. We just don't do it.
Oh, really?
Like, we meet up, we go for a drink, and just spending time with each other is
the greatest gift of all, isn't it?
Yeah, but what are we going to buy each other? Everyone's got to go through it. Actually, the greatest gift is that we don't put stress on each other to buy shit. That's the greatest gift.
I think
there's 5 of us, mate. There's 5 of us. There's not.
Yeah. We do. We've done Secret Santa for a few years, but it's about it's like 60 quid on it. But also people like give each other lists of shit that they want.
So it's not really Secret Santa.
No, you're going to get something that you like. Right.
Would it bother you if you went into a Christmas and there was just no gifts to open at all?
I mean, that was pretty much. Do you know what? I think in the same Christmas, my mother-in-law bought me what she thought was a wallet was a woman's purse. So I was like, this is and yeah, fucking hell, it was terrible.
I genuinely enjoy getting pants and socks.
Yeah. Buzzing when I get something like that because I don't want to buy them otherwise.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind. Honestly, I said that to my missus. Don't get me anything at all. Get me some pants and socks. I got some Spurs pajamas last year, which is fine. Yeah, I'm not really not bothered. I'm just really I'm really lucky because I get to be out in the countryside in this house with with the missus and kids, and just having kids around, it makes Christmas so much more special because it's for them, innit? It's for Christmas is for kids. It's not really for adults. We just get to sit and drink and be fat for a couple of weeks, time off work. But the magic in it is for kids. There's a garden centre around the corner from here which puts on loads of lights and ice skating. Has one of the biggest displays in Europe apparently. So we go and see that, feel all Christmassy.
Oh, yeah, that's it. You want to create your own little family. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Right, last couple. I don't think we've got time for all of these today, but we'll do them next week. But this is the one I wanted to talk about this because it starts with the words "bit deep." I won't say his name just in case he doesn't want it becoming too big a thing, but it doesn't matter. Bit deep, but it would have been the anniversary with a now ex of over a year tomorrow, and I still can't help but look back and feel sad. I'm over it now, but I would say I had a hard time getting to this point. Have either of you ever had a breakup that took a while to overcome, and do you have any advice for anyone in that position? Mine would just be don't get afraid to talk to mates about how you're feeling if you're feeling down or something.
You've had more than me, I think.
Have you not had those kind of breakups then?
No, I've never had someone break up with me.
Have you not?
But I had I was with my ex-girlfriend for 14 years, and it's still sad.
I guess that is.
Did someone just call you then?
No.
It's a weird glitch, and then it doesn't matter. What did you say? Did you hear what I was saying?
Just then, I heard what you were saying. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, mate. That's just useless podcasting. But I was after 14 years. It's sad. It's still sad. I'm not in love with her anymore, and it was the right thing to break up. But you still think about the time you spent to each other and little moments you had to each other, and it's not a pleasant feeling that it didn't work out.
I think it's when it's I guess it depends when it's your decision or not, or if you're mutually it's your decision. When it's not, I think also, let's say my experience, I would say, is when I was I was a lot younger, and was my first girlfriend, and it was excruciating, but it's like, I think it's one of those where you just got to hang in there. You just got to hang in there. One thing that sounds a bit wanky, but it did somehow help me a bit, was I remember someone saying you got to you just to sort of leave it. This is so naff, but I remember doing it at the time, and I remember it really helped me. He said imagine you're this is so naff. But he said, imagine you're blowing a balloon, right? And it's take a deep fucking breath and blow this balloon out, just all that feeling, that excruciating pain that you've kind of got in your mind, let it all out into this balloon, metaphorically, and then just try and in your head almost tie it up and just leave it, and then try and go, right, look, I've done it now, I've felt it, I need to move forward and kind of have that moment. And I remember doing that, and I did actually feel bizarrely a lot better after that. I think some people that have an impact in your life, that fades, or you find someone better, and so that makes you have a different perspective of what that was. But you still will always have those. It's good to have memories because it means you've lived a life. So I think those things, it is just sort of, it's par for the course, and it is difficult. And you do start to think, oh God, how am I going to get beyond this? But there isn't one person for, there isn't only one person for you. You will meet that. You do end up meeting that next person. You've just got to try to concentrate on yourself for a bit, I think. Imagine
that there's no greater cure to a lost love than a new one, and there would be birds. When I was a kid growing up, I'd pine after certain girls. I'd be like, oh, I fancy her so much, but I didn't have the bollocks or wherewithal to ask her out. And then you meet the next one, and you literally don't even ever think about that one ever again. It's weird. It's how quickly your brain adapts. And I think that's why a lot of people end up cheating, and because they're able to switch off their feelings for one person in a moment. If another woman presents a Vagina to you. But not everyone. I can't imagine myself ever cheating, ever.
Yeah.
Never.
So yeah, I think there's your advice for me.
See that last comment, Stephen Zevon on the thing goes, ugh, get on with it. Your chit chat is only amusing to you. That's to us too.
Yeah.
And John Simonson says, why do you even watch this podcast if you don't like chit chat, Stephen? You utter spunk lolly.
Spunk lolly. That's horrible. You know, that's for another time. Some guy basically, you know, people like they get semen, they put it in a condom and then freeze it, and then they'll have gay sex with it.
Not semen.
Mm.
I've heard ones that they poo in a condom, freeze it, and use that as a dildo.
No, well, this guy said it was semen.
It's called space docking. Semen, how you
take a while, wouldn't it? Take a while, wouldn't it?
It would be impossible.
Yeah, we're quite yeah. Like, where are you putting it initially to then put it into the condom, or are you just filling it into the same condom again and again and again? Either way, it's grim.
Yeah. Jimmy James Computers, he says the Spur guy on the right is now against VAR. Rich after taking out City from the Champions League.
That's a good point.
Well, doesn't watch the. Have you seen how proper Everton fans how like this Gomez thing? It's like they've been not. I don't think they've been as straightforward or level-headed rather as perhaps they should be.
What? Because they're getting angry about the fact that his red card's been rescinded.
Yeah, but it's only because it's happening to Everton. If it was anywhere else, and I've literally spoken. I spoke to these Sheffield United lads from my other podcast, and they said, yeah, it wasn't a red. Literally, no one is saying this other than Everton fans, and I reckon a few Liverpool fans probably as well.
I would go like, are you clutching at straws here? Who gives a fuck if it's a red card or not? The kid's like done his ankle. Like, that's the beginning and end of it. I don't care. Like, keep the red card and miss 3 games or rescind it. I don't give a shit. I don't think I'd give a shit if I supported the club, because it's by the by. It doesn't affect. It's not going to affect Everton's standing in the league or affect them in any way.
They're obsessed with injustice, aren't they?
Yeah.
All right.
That's your weekly Skype. Thank you, Flav.
Thank you, mate.
We will be back next week. We've done a reaction video that's getting edited up, so you guys will be able to enjoy us reacting.
How did that turn out? I didn't know.
I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it yet because
What's happened to the wall behind you, Jim?
I had a thing up there, but it fell down. Why?
Oh, it fell down.
Yeah, it fell down.
Oh, sorry.
Why? What? Because there was more shit there. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it just looked a little busier
Does
before.
look a bit bare, doesn't it? The reaction to E-Boys and other things as well, that will be on Patreon soon. Thank you for supporting the pod, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.